Hello and welcome to Dark Cloud Cybersecurity. Today we're going to talk about Latitude Finance and the massive data breach that happened this week. If you're based in Australia, you may have heard of Latitude, but let me tell you a bit about them. Latitude Finance is a non-bank finance house here in Australia. They're an ASX listed company and they lend smaller amounts of money to Australian residents for things like mobile phones, new cars, and for TVs or sofas and things like that. This is the third major cyber breach for a company in Australia in the last few months. At the end of last year, we had the Optus data breach, we then had the cyber attack on Medibank, and now we have this huge data breach from Latitude Finance. Now, what I would say is, as far as we know, this is the first major cyber attack on an Australian financial institution. So what do we know about the attack? Well, some of the details are a bit sketchy. What we do know for sure is that 300,000 customers have been affected by this data breach. 300,000 customers, their details have been posted to a dark web database. At least 100,000 Australian driving licence numbers are part of that information data breach. Now, we don't know for sure exactly what information is contained in the breach, but from basic database knowledge, we will know that there'll be names, addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, and of course, driving licenses. And you'll probably know that that's enough information on its own for a cyber criminal to go out and get finance in your name.
Show me the money!
In Australia, it's very, very common for your identification to be digitally verified using your driving license number. So a cyber criminal who steals your information doesn't even need to go into the bank to sign any paperwork like they used to do. It's all done online, it's all done digitally. In fact, the first that you'll know about it is when you start getting emails from Latitude saying, thanks for borrowing some money from us. So how come all these massive multi-million-dollar companies keep getting hit by these massive cyber attacks? Well, of course, it is a game of cat and mouse. It is very difficult for large companies and small companies to stay ahead of the cyber criminals. However, in this case, like a lot of the other cyber attacks recently, this attack has originated from a third-party provider who actually worked for Latitude Finance. So the attack didn't actually take place on Latitude Finance themselves. It's believed that the third-party provider, name unknown at the moment, is actually a back-end provider with data infrastructure. So it appears, from the knowledge we have, is that the cyber attack started with the third-party provider. The cyber criminals have taken their time and have worked their way through the system to get to the data that's being held. Now, the ABC have asked Latitude Finance whether or not a ransom has been demanded by the cyber criminals. That is usually the way this works. They're looking to make money out of this. It would be unusual if a ransom wasn't demanded, but we don't know for sure. But what we do know is that these large companies, like Optus, like Medibank, won't be paying any ransom to these cyber criminals, and thus your information will be posted online. Latitude Finance themselves describe the attack as sophisticated and malicious. There are people in Australia that have now been hacked 2 or 3 times. There is information out on the news websites of customers who were Optus customers, Medibank customers, and Latitude Finance customers. That's not unusual. There are 3 massive organisations in Australia that your details have now been posted 3 times on the dark web. Now, the most worrying detail about this story is the fact that as of today's date, we don't actually know if the cyber criminals have been completely removed from the Latitude Finance systems. We do understand is that a lot of the systems are still down, and the Latitude Finance are very, very concerned about other details being leaked online. It's possible that right now the cyber criminals still have an open backdoor into Latitude Finance's back-end systems. Now, I actually had this video completely finished and ready to be edited until about 3 hours after I stopped recording, and then realised that some more information had been released about Latitude. I read on the ABC that they had said that today passport information and Medicare numbers had also been breached in about 5% of the cases. So again, more information being breached from the Latitude hack. Every few days we just seem to be getting more and more information, and it seems to be getting more and more serious. So the moral of the story is here for big businesses, for medium-sized businesses, and for small businesses, that if you're using third-party providers, you need to make sure that those providers also have absolutely top-notch security. And if you are a large business like Latitude, and you've got third-party apps and third-party database providers, it's your responsibility to make sure that those people, those companies, have as high standards as you have in your system. because hackers, they will find a way in and they will get to your database and they will get your customers' information. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'm going to be making lots more videos on hacks that are being taking place across the world and especially in Australia. So if you're interested in that kind of information and news, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button for me, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.